You have to become okay with it not always working out how you wanted it to work out. I feel like this is a lesson I've been really learning the past year, especially over the past like 6 months, of just not allowing things to always go according to the plan that I created. I've been really into my Bible a lot recently and just reading certain verses and understanding that we can have our own ideas of what we want our life to look like or our life we envision, but in the end, God has the final say so. And always his vision is going to be the vision that actually comes to life. And I feel like I've really been able to lessen my anxiety and lessen my stress and really just be at more peace by just allowing things to be how they're going to be. No longer trying to force it to go be my way. No longer trying to force people to be a person that they don't care to be. No longer trying to get people to see the world how I see the world. And not being so dependent upon results in order for myself to be happy, in order for myself to be good in life or feel like my life is going in the right direction, and really just learning to adapt to life itself. I feel like so many of us, we get so attached to outcomes, so attached to things going the way in which we envision or things going the way how we want them to go our way, because we automatically assume we know what's best for us. We think that if I get into this relationship, if I could get this person to act this way, if my friend group looks like this, then everything will finally be all good in life. When in reality, life is good right now if we choose to be good right now, if we choose to change our perspective, if we choose to see the good that's in it right now, if we choose to not need certain outcomes, certain people in order to be fulfilled. Because when I really learned to become dependent upon myself for my own happiness, it made me not need other people. It made me get to a point where it was like, regardless of the outcome, regardless of if I fail in this aspect, regardless of if this person likes me back, I'ma still be good because I still got a relationship with myself. I still got my own purpose. I still got my own way in which I contribute to the world that brings me a sense of happiness, that makes me feel fulfilled. I don't need other people or other materialistic things or for things to work out in a certain way in order to be fulfilled. And I feel like you got to be able to find that for yourself. You got to find whatever that is in your life, that regardless of what outcome happens, you'll still be all right. But also in the love you give to yourself, because I think you really do have to love yourself. But when I say allow it to not work out, I mean, when things don't go your way, you're not trying to force. You're not trying to, again, you're not so attached to an outcome to where it feels like your life is completely falling apart because things didn't go out or turn out the way in which you wanted them to turn out. Because I remember I had to learn to understand that, people aren't going to be who I want them to be. But again, relationships aren't always going to work out. And I've learned to see the bigger picture, because I feel like in knowing God has a bigger plan for me, that sometimes I can't fully understand his plan. Like, only he's capable of seeing where he's leading me. And I really just got to trust my trust into him and stop, again, trying to force things to always go my way, trying to force them the way I think they should go, because obviously, since it's not going that way, it's not meant to go that way. And the more I try and force it to go that way, the more I, keep trying to hold on to that idea I had in my own head, the more stress I only create for myself. But when I really just learn to go with the wave of life and where God's leading me, what direction he's pointing me in, then, it becomes a lot less stressful because I'm not trying so hard to resist it. And so when he's removing people, when I'm failing, when he's causing me to go through a season of patience, he's causing me to spend more time with him and change my focus and where, the things I'm prioritizing in my life, it's like I stop resisting it and I start learning to embrace it, because I'm more so embracing, what's the lesson I need to be learning here? What is this trying to teach me? Why is this season necessary? Because again, sometimes we got to understand that everybody's not going to like us. People are going to come and go out of our life. Relationships aren't always going to work out. Friendships aren't always going to work out. But in them not working out, it might be a necessary part of our story. It might be leading us to a bigger purpose. It might be leading us to something that, without that experience or without that person coming into our life and them helping build us into a different version of ourselves, whether that's becoming aware of things that we didn't know in the past, whether that's allowing them to teach us certain lessons that we wouldn't be able to know without them, it's all for a bigger purpose. And I feel like when I learned to embrace that and understand that, this person might have just served their purpose in my life, or, this is teaching me some type of lesson. This only bothers me for this reason. And in feeling this feeling, it allows me to ask myself some questions and discover things about myself that I didn't previously know. But it's all for a bigger purpose, because I know that these are going to be people that I come to appreciate, because further down the line in life, I'm going to be dealing with people and I'm going to be so prepared. I'm going to feel strong and so confident in my relationships. I'm going to feel strong in my content and my business and my ability to help people, all because I went through all these things in my past, all because I went through these experiences. Even now, like, all my relationships from the past allow me to make these videos. They allow me to provide videos to y'all. They allow me to help you guys. And that is the bigger purpose. And that's why I have to, in those moments, understand that it's temporary, understand that it's a purpose in it, understand that it's a necessary part of my story. And so I want you guys to carry that same perspective when things aren't working out, that just because they don't seem to be working out doesn't mean things aren't really falling into place. And you have to stop getting so caught up in your feelings and thinking that, you know what's best for you, and that, this is the best person. This is as good as it gets. I'll never find anybody like them. That's not your responsibility to figure out right now. And if you make your responsibility to figure it all out right now, again, you're going to keep yourself trying to force things, holding on to people that you really need to let go of. Whatever direction it's going, become okay with that. And I know I'm not saying that you're not going to feel no type of emotions or no type of feelings, but it's more so like, I'm no longer going to fight. I'm no longer going to resist. I can't keep constantly over pouring into someone that isn't pouring back into me. I can't keep constantly giving all my energy and draining myself, all because I keep hanging out with these people. I keep forcing myself to hold on to these people. I keep forcing this person, and I keep always having to remind them they need to act this way. And I keep expecting and holding on to these expectations of them changing, or all this hope, and it's keeping me stuck, and it's emotionally draining me. And again, when you make that decision that, I'm just going to let it go, and I'm going to stick to that decision, because many of us were moving forward in life with the expectation of people eventually coming back into our life. And again, that's going to keep you stuck, because you're almost resisting moving forward into the new possibilities, the new opportunities that life has for you, because again, you're still holding on to the hope that the past will be able to be fixed, because you're so caught up in thinking that's the best thing for you. Because I know when I finally made that decision that, I'm not going to wait around for another explanation. I'm not going to wait around for another conversation. I'm not going to reach out again. I'm moving forward. And I'm moving forward with the expectation of never talking to this person again. That's literally the place you got to get to. You got to lose any type of expectation. You got to lose any type of hope. You got to stop feeding your mind to think that you can change something that will change the way they view you, or change the situation itself. When you really learn to say, this is just what it is, and it's over, and I'm moving forward, and I'm letting go of it, and however it turns out is how it's going to be to turn out. But I'm not investing any more of my time or any more of my energy into trying to get it to be something that it might never be meant to be. I'm going to open myself up to meeting new people, or meeting new opportunities, trying new things in life, finding the more and the better that could possibly be out there, even if I at one point thought it was that thing I had once in my past. When I really learned to let go of that and just embrace where life was moving me, that direction it was moving me in, I became a lot more peace, because I wasn't trying to force. I wasn't against things not going my way, because I understood that, again, it's not my final say-so. It's God's final say-so, and He has a plan. I may not be able to comprehend or even see that plan right now, but I know it's there. And so I got to entrust myself in His hands, understanding that He gonna take care of me. He gonna lead me to my exact purpose and where I'm supposed to be in life. And that, as long as I handle my part, as long as I listen to Him, as long as I'm learning the necessary lessons in which I need to be learning, as long as I'm not being stubborn and neglecting Him, and again, trying to handle my life the way I think I need to be handling my life, and thinking I'm better than Him and know more than Him, then I'm going to be where I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to meet the people I'm supposed to meet. I'm going to be in the relationships I'm supposed to be in. I'm going to be presented with the opportunities in which I'm meant to be presented with. I'm going to step into the purpose in which I'm supposed to be fulfilled. And that happiness and that peace, all that stuff is on the other side of me just allowing myself to go with the flow. But also just understanding, like, I don't need anything in order to be happy. I don't need anything in order to be okay. And understand that, I'm good as I am. When you could get to a place where you're just good with yourself, you're good with having God in your life. You don't need other people. You don't need things to always work out. You don't need all these things to fall into place perfectly, or things to always look perfectly in order for you to move forward, in order for you to be at peace, in order for you to be happy. Then that's a place of, truly just like, I'll just adapt. I don't need to force. I don't need to control all these different things that are out of my control, or try to manipulate people to be who I want them to be. It's like, I'm gonna just let things be. When you stop really trying to always be perfect and be in control of life and have everything going the way in which you want it to go, and you learn to just let go. God, I put it in your hands. I've really learned to not trying to force things. Then again, you're going to find yourself at a lot more peace. You're going to find yourself a lot more happy, a lot less stressed, because you're not trying to, again, manipulate life into the life that you want it to be, but you open yourself up to whichever direction life is deciding to carry you. Because I remember for the longest time, I was constantly trying to change people. I was constantly trying to get people to see the vision in which I saw. I was constantly trying to reconnect with people and holding on to a hope that I would be able to get things to turn out how I wanted them to turn out, or I would be able to get to change somebody, or that somebody just needed time in order to come to their senses, or that, things would eventually work out. When I kept holding on to that hope, I found myself constantly stuck in life and almost resisting where life was trying to take me. And eventually, when I learned to embrace it and just go with the flow of how things were going and stop trying to, again, force them, new opportunities, new people presented themselves to me that, had I not allowed myself to move forward from that past, I wouldn't be able to step into them. And so now we don't even realize that, that best life that we think is for us back there, the best life is really ahead of us if we would just allow ourselves to step into it. Because when we open ourselves to new opportunities and things not going how we wanted them to go, and us not understanding truly what's best for us, and God knowing what's best for us, because sometimes what doesn't appear to be best for us really is what's best for us. You ever had a friend where it was like, dang, that person would never be my friend. But then you really get to talking to them, it's like, hold up, this person actually cool. And then your best friend in your life right now, the first time you met them, you probably didn't even think they could have became your best friend. But when you truly just involve yourself in that situation, it got you to a point where it was like, dang, I never even saw us getting here, but here we are. And so that's what it's like, just open yourself up to new opportunities, not knowing what the future holds until you actually step into it. Understanding that, again, new opportunities, new people, new relationships are going to present themselves, and those might be the ones that are truly best for you. But you'll only be able to step into them if you stop holding on to what you want, that relationship that you want, that relationship that you think is what's best for you, and that you think will be the only one you'll ever be able to find, and that you won't be able to find anybody else like that. But I appreciate and love you guys as always. Be sure to check out the Letting Go to Grow community I'm dropping very, very soon. It's a community meant for people who are struggling in the process of letting go and can't figure out the steps that they need to move forward, and need a little bit of help, a little bit of community. But yeah, that's dropping very, very soon. So be sure to join the wait list down below in the description. Be sure to cop a hoodie on willkeepitreal.com, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.